Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to try to get this thing running. It's a 64 Plymouth Belvedere, slant 6, 3 on the tree. It's been sitting here for a few months. It's been sitting overall for like 20 years. I recently acquired it and cleaned it up, but it really needs to run under its own power. So today we're gonna pull it out of here just enough so I can get the hood and the doors open, and we're gonna see if we can get it running. Okay, let's see what we're dealing with. I did clean this at some point. Slant 6, I got a battery I can throw in it. My understanding is these 2-barrel poly carbs are garbage, but we'll see if it'll run. I guess I'll start with checking the points. I might pull the plugs first and throw some Marvel in there. Alright, let me pull a plug or two and see what it looks like. So I pulled the plugs. I don't hate them. They don't look terrible. Cap's got some buildup of some kind. It doesn't look worn out. Rotor's got some rust on it, so I'll clean those up. I remember checking the oil at some point. Yep, it's got oil in there. I think the tank is almost empty. I tapped on it and it sounded pretty hollow. So I'm going to clean up these points, see if I can get spark out of it, see if it'll crank. These battery cables are hurting. I wish I had something to replace them with, but at the moment I don't. So we're going to try to make these work. That is pretty rusty and crusty. It won't help at all. That is an empty radiator. Alright, let's clean those points up, get a battery in it, see if it'll crank. So I think I'm going to run to the parts store and get some battery terminals. These things are so rotted and shot. This one's actually, the bolts are broken. One is broken, the metal one's broke. This one I think corroded away completely. There's nothing sticking out the other side. But I want to get a look at this carburetor. Works. At least the throttle works. How bad can it be? I mean, this car is very solid. I don't think there's really much in the tank, if anything. I might get some gas too and just put it in the tank and see what happens. I don't see any dry rotted hoses. Alright, trip to the parts store, battery terminals, get some gas. So back from the parts store, I got some battery terminals. They reach, thank God. I put some Marvel mystery oil in the cylinders just for the heck of it. I left the plugs out of it. I just want to hook up the battery, see if I got power and if it'll crank. The starter connection is a little rusty. I'm not sure if the solenoid works or any of that stuff. So let's just see if I get power, no sparks going off, and if it will crank. These terminals are like for lawnmowers or something. I don't know why they sell them at parts stores. No sparks. I got lights. See if it cranks. Good old slant 6. I think I'll crank it a bit, see if I can get some gas out of the tank. I don't think there's any in it, but let's find out. We got fuel. There's something in there. Fuel pump works. Fuel pump also leaks. I wonder from where. Oh, that's the Marvel mystery oil. Okay, scratch that. Fuel pump does not leak. Fuel pump pumps fuel though. Let's see what the points do. Okay, we've got spark at the points. I'm putting the plugs in. I'm going to squirt gas in the carb and see what happens. Okay, plugs are in it. The only thing I did was put Marvel mystery oil in the cylinders, clean the points, clean the plugs, new terminals. It cracked, it has spark. Let's see if it'll pop off here. Like I said, I've heard these Holley 2 barrels are garbage, but I have no idea. I don't have any experience with them. Let's see what happens. Some smelly gas out of it, that's for sure. Got some dirt in there, not much. Fuel in the bowl, let's see if it pops off again. One filter. Let's see how well that carb does. 20 years. It's probably filthy inside, but let's see what happens. Burn the hole. Why don't I see spark now? Okay, I cleaned and checked the points again. I cleaned the coil wire. I put a plug on the coil wire and it sparked. So I'm getting spark to the distributor. When I took this fuel line off, put this filter on, there was pressure there. So the needle and seat are working. Let's try again. Maybe something a little more volatile will make it go. I don't know. Is this more volatile than gas? That plug is sparking. I mean, it could be bad gas, but I've been squirting gas in the carb, like that I just picked up. And that bowl is full. I filled it with the good gas before I put this filter on it. And it's got pressure when you take the line off. So the needle and seat's holding because it's not flooding the car out. So this thing should run, in theory. I'm gonna pull a plug, see what's going on. I think it's a mixture between Marvel and gas, maybe. It smells more like Marvel than anything. Maybe I should have just fired it off without trying to be careful. I'll take these plugs out, crank it over, let it dry out, see what happens then. They definitely don't smell like gas. So I had the coil wire hanging out up here on the inner fender while I was cranking it and trying to get all the gas out of the tank. And I noticed it was sparking. It was sitting like this and it was sparking off the inner fender. And I'm like, oh, the boot must be really close to the metal, but it wasn't. It wasn't even near it. So I guess this is a leaky coil wire. So I made another one. It probably needs all new plug wires, but I just made the coil wire, so maybe that's why it's not getting spark to the spark plugs. And the fuel filter's extremely low. I don't think there's much left in the tank, if anything. So I'm going to try to start it again. Good old slant 6. Look at that. Idling nice right off the bat. Not really smoking that bad. If the clutch works. Well, that is just idling smooth. That sounds smoother than the Valiant. That is some terrible gas too, I'm sure. Well, I know it doesn't have brakes. I wonder if the clutch works. I don't want to get it stuck in gear or something like that. It's got absolutely no brakes. I think what I'll do is pull it out, push it out, and then get the rear end up on a jack and see if it'll move. Wow, it is idling beautifully. Okay, let's jack this up, see if this clutch works. Pretty good on terrible gas. Alright, let's see how it moves. So apparently the shift pattern is reverse is towards you, then first down and towards you, second away from you and up, and third down and away from you. Similar to a floor shift but on the column. So let's see if it'll move. fill the radiator. I can't really drive around the yard. There's a bunch of cars in the yard. No, it does not have power steering. I don't know why I thought it did. Probably because the Valiant does and the Dart does, and just figured it should, I guess. So it does run. I'm not surprised. I'm gonna get some water in the radiator. I don't know what comes next. Will it stop? Is that a video? Yeah, I'm definitely pleased with this thing. Clutch was a little stiff. I think some of the brakes were holding it up. I think the front right corner was holding it up from moving forward. I don't think it was the clutch. I could hear the rust, you know, getting burnt off the pressure plate and flywheel, but it moves. It doesn't hesitate. Those are some big tires for a 6-cylinder. That door shut. Perfect. Alrighty. Well, thanks for watching. I think I will get on to the next thing and see if it will stop. But until then, I'm so pleased with this car. I had to wipe it off, hose it down a little. Just runs so good. I had heard those Holley 2-barrels were junk, but it just runs perfect. Couldn't ask for a better running car. That's been sitting for 20 years. I don't know if the gas gauge works or not. It shows empty, and I think it's pretty close to empty. 3 on the tree. Clutch will probably work better as time goes on. It doesn't seem like it needs to be replaced or anything. It's not slipping. It's just making those sanding sounds. I'm gonna try to get some shots of this driving as soon as I get somebody over here who can point the camera. Next is the brakes. I ordered brake parts. I already have them. I didn't order much. The e-brake works, which is a good sign. So I have rims with tires for the front, and I have rims with no tires for the rear. So I'll get tires for those. So I need 2 tires, the brakes to work. Just make sure all the lights work, and I'll be driving this thing. All right. Thanks for watching.